Tuesday at 4 o'clock. Let me get you up to speed. With the odds stacked against him, one quarterback looked at his longtime rival and said, "Not today, friend." With the bravery of a mountaineer, he carried his team down the field and tossed a pillowy strike to Mike Gesicki, sealing the win and perhaps more importantly, his place among the 26 quarterbacks on the most daunting ranking in all of sports media. Mac Jones, welcome to Mahomes Mountain.
Thank you, as always, Kevin Wildes, for a great introduction. However, you do not know if Mac Jones is or is not on the mountain. One great game does not guarantee you placement on the mountain, unless, of course, it was a week where great games were hard to come by.
Ooh.
Let's see folks who are not on the mountain. Hey, listen, those guys at the bottom are still off the mountain for various reasons. These guys fell off the mountain. You might say, why? Well, some were injured and didn't play. Some couldn't stop turning the ball over. In Sam Howell's case, he forced a teammate into having an existential crisis about whether or not he wants to keep playing football. All those things force people off the mountain. Bottom row of the mountain. Welcome to the mountain. McCorkle Jones.
And it goes left to right, remember.
Well,
that's right.
Tyrod Taylor does not go left to right. That is not how we do it. We have a lot of Talmudic viewers who read right to left.
Fair.
We try to be fair. Tyrod Taylor on the mountain. Daniel Jones not on the mountain. That's a quarterback controversy in my book. Russell Wilson makes the mountain. And you know what? Tyson Bagent.
Hey.
I'd apologize to you.
Wow.
But you cost me thousands of dollars. So you know what? I still don't like you, but you get on the mountain. Bryce and Zach did the best thing they could have done to stay on the mountain. They didn't play. Row 6. Kenny Pickett and Gardner Minshew, 6th row on the mountain. And you might say, hold on a second. Nick, Brock Purdy doesn't go red. He doesn't go down. No, America. You know why? Because 2 people knew who Brock Purdy was. This guy and the mountain. The mountain never doubted who Brock Purdy was, so the mountain doesn't need to further adjust Brock Purdy's ranking from he's the MVP to should Sam Darnold play. Nope, the mountain says just about where he needs to be. Derek Carr almost slipped down, but I was afraid he would scream at me, so I left it where he was. 5th row. Josh Allen slips just a bit. That's what happens when you lose to Mac Jones and Zach Wilson in the same season. Geno, a very efficient performance. He goes back up. Matt Stafford stays where he is. Joe Burrow had a bye. And Justin Herbert's play, we thought might deserve to drop, but there wasn't really it felt bad to put him on the road with those guys beneath him, so we left him where he is. All right, 4th row. Goff and Caleb both slipped down the mountain. Both suffered tough losses. In Goff's case, he played poorly. In Caleb's place, he didn't play perfectly, which is what USC needs when they play any good team. Dak Prescott had a bye, as did CJ Stroud. They stay where they are. Now we're to the real cream of the crop. 3rd row of the mountain. Tua Tagovailoa falls just a bit. This is his lowest ranking he's had since week 1. He has been here once before. Jalen Hurts, upon Bruce pleading yesterday, I went and rewatched the Jalen Hurts throws in that game. And while he did make a couple mistakes, I actually thought he played quite well. Overall, the mistakes he's got to clean up, but he can move up a bit. And Kirk Cousins with the rare 2-row leap. In 1 week of mountain climbing, Kirk Cousins arguably the finest game of his career. And now to the top 3. Lamar enters the MVP chat. Trevor Lawrence stays in it as he's been all year. You might say, what did Lamar do? Lamar played about as well as one can play. And what did Trevor do? Well, Trevor, for the quarterback win side of the table, is 4-0 in his last month. Has a 100 rating and has only thrown 1 interception while doing everything you ask a quarterback to do to help his team win games. And then, of course, once controversial and now unanimously agreed upon, the top of the mountain. It was called biased. It was called ridiculous. Now it is just called obvious. Patrick Mahomes, top 5 in everything that matters in the NFL. He is atop Mahomes Mountain. Coach Mangini, don't shake your head. Don't shake your head.
Solid mountain.
It was great. It's a great mountain.
You're just saying that.
It's a great mountain.
I enjoy the mountain. I think the mountain is inherently biased. It's inherently unfair.
Why?
You could easily make the argument that Lamar should be the top, but I'm just going to focus on.
No, you couldn't.
I'm going to focus on your second layer in the Prince, and to me, Kirk Cousins should have taken a jump even higher.
So a 3-level jump in a week?
And we're going to talk about this because now I know how you operate. So he should dethrone the Prince. He should be there. The Prince should be down. And let's take a look at why. Okay, let's take a look at just what he did this week because I know that you adjusted. So if we just look at what happened this week, look at his completion percentage, his passing yards. TD to interception, and that one interception he had, the ball was taken away. It wasn't a terrible
but that
throw.
one of those TDs, the ball was taken away.
Okay, now let's pass rate 107. You're going to say, well, and you saw how when he talked about the Prince, he talked about historically what he's done. So I knew that would come into play with this. So let's see what happened this season. He's got a better completion percentage. He's got more passing yards. He's got double the touchdowns, and he's got a much better passer rating. So.
Situational football. All right. So let me explain. First of all, we've never seen a 3-tier jump in 1 week.
Just because we haven't seen it doesn't mean it shouldn't happen.
The mountain is not that reactionary where all of a sudden Kirk Cousins, who was on the trade block a week ago, now is the top 3 quarterback in the league. That would be ridiculous. Second of all, Coach, this is once again evidence that makes me very sad. Because you are setting aside your own internal commitment to winning smart, complementary football, and you're like, you know what? That's not as important to me. You know what's more important to me? Sticking it to Nick. Because Trevor Lawrence is doing everything you want. Trevor Lawrence is starting to take care of the football. Trevor Lawrence is allowing the running game to be a big part of it. For the last year.
Right.
Brew, go ahead.
Well, first I gotta say this.
You're happy about Lamar?
Poor Caleb Williams.
Okay.
The man's in college. Let's just get him off the mountain. He'll be on there next year at some point. But Nick, he's not even dominating teams where 95% of the guys won't even be playing on Sundays. Look at the record versus top 25 defenses and the rest of these. He's 500 with under 60% completions, 7 TDs, 4 picks against good defenses in college football.
He's great in the college football playoffs. So
hold on. Okay. All right. Can I ask a question?
I'm just saying, and I like Caleb.
Because this is a very popular sentiment in the last 10 days is to take shots at Caleb. Yet I've yet to hear anyone actually finish the thought yet. Brew, if you had the number 1 pick of the draft without any hesitation, would you take him?
I would draft him, but that doesn't mean he's better than the 25 quarterbacks in the NFL already. It doesn't mean that.
So you don't think?
I don't think he'll come in and dominate like C.J. Stroud is right away.
So you don't think? Because I'm just want to give you an example of someone he's right ahead of. So he's on the row ahead of, say, Matt Stafford.
He's ahead of Josh Allen.
You think the team with the number 1 pick of the draft would trade?
But he's not only ahead of Stafford. He's ahead of Josh Allen and Justin Herbert and all that.
I'd rather have Caleb.
But that's not even my main thing. I'm a backup coach because the Prince. I'm sorry.
Oh my God, you guys
Prince needs the ball.
Quarterback wins until it's Trevor Lawrence.
You sat on, you hid behind it's the rare 3-level jump. I'm not even asking for a 3-level jump. Move Jalen Hurts. Now, it should be maybe a 3-level fall for the Prince, but Jalen Hurts should be right there next to Lamar Jackson instead of the Prince. And here's the thing, Nick. Jalen Hurts has 15 total touchdowns.
Yeah.
That's more than everybody except, or I should put it this way, only Kirk Cousins and Josh Allen have more total touchdowns than Jalen Hurts. Also, Coach, Jalen Hurts has more passing touchdowns, 9, than the Prince.
Yes.
And that's all the Prince does. He throws the ball, and yet Jalen Hurts is throwing for more yards per game by almost 30, more touchdowns per game, and the brotherly shove, you heard it from the coach's mouth. It makes it 1st and 9 for teams, right? So, and he is a huge partner. Kelsey, but also
pushing him.
His 660-pound leg press squats. That's part of it, too.
So a couple things. First of all,
First of all,
Trevor Lawrence in the last month is averaging 40 yards per game rushing. That's first of all.
How many touchdowns does he run for?
What? No, because they run a real offense. They don't do this little silly thing where it's like, hey, we're going to pretend we're the New Zealand All Blacks for a moment and try to push it in. They call it Coach Mancini's brother in Australia, and they're like, hey, teach us how to do it. That's first of all. Second of all, Brew, Is Baker Mayfield having a good, great, or mediocre year?
What do? I answer
Hold on.
Nick's questions?
No.
It's a trick
I'll
bag.
answer your question, but no.
Okay,
You're trying to trick me.
Here's all I'm going to say.
Baker's being Baker.
Oh, okay,
right?
that's
Answer
great.
your own.
You know what being
Oh,
Baker
here it
means
is.
this year? Having a better passer rating than Jalen Hurts. So pump the brakes.
Does he have more touchdown passes than Jalen Hurts?
No, I said
more
better
total
passer rating.
touchdowns?
No, I said
that's
better
only
passer rating
one
because
thing.
it's a catch-all
That's
stat.
just one thing.
Yes,
I don't know
because
if it's
passer
catch-all.
rating incorporates the one word we didn't hear come out of your mouth during that entire Jalen Hurts should be top
So
3.
Baker's
which
having a
is
better year than
interceptions.
Jalen Hurts?
No.
Oh, okay.
I'm not.
But he's got
I'm
a higher
simply-
passer rating.
I'm simply
He
saying
must
if
be.
you are looking up in the passer rating standings to Baker Mayfield, you're not a top 3 quarterback in the league this year. You're just not. Go ahead, Wiles.
Passer rating?
What's wrong with passer rating?
Thank you, Wild. Shoot
If I
him.
wanted to see the passer rating, I'd go down to my local Marriott, grab a USA Today.
They don't,
My
publish
man,
that.
my
They don't
man.
publish that.
When's the last time you? Yes, you did.
What? They don't publish
Sports section. Any event.
No,
I was
I know it's
recently
the
on the
sports
mountain,
section. Yeah.
and I looked at one of my quarterbacks there. I said, "Hey, man, you ready to go? How are you feeling?" He said, "You know what? Calf feeling just fine after a bye." So I'm preparing. I'm okay where he's at now.
he
But
did.
watch out for the ascent because it's coming. Joe Burrow, after a bye. Oh, my goodness. Last year after a bye, they didn't lose until the Arrowhead Invitational. Now he's coming off a bye, going into San Francisco, who's on the ropes. It's going to be a tough battle of Ohio and Iowa Mafia for you. Tune in next week for that. Then Burrow this season, he is getting better, feeling healthier. First 4 games, not very Joe Burrow-esque. Last 2 games, a little bit better. Now we're on the bye. This is when you wanted him to sit and you wanted him to come back. So here we go. Joe Burrow, I'm okay where he's at right now, but I'm just preparing everyone. Like I did golf last week, and all of a sudden, buy the stock low. Old KW, I told you so.
Hold on, real quick.
Like a stock segment.
Real quick, that is true. Also,
everything.
wait, did you just say the guy you told everybody about last week was Jared Goff?
Yeah, didn't I?
Yeah, how do you do?
No, I meant Jared. I'm sorry, not Jared Goff. Kirk Cousins.
Kirk.
I'm sorry, Kirk Cousins.
All right.
I'm sorry, not Jared Goff.
I thought I
I'm
wasn't
sorry,
trying to do that
no,
to you. I
Cousins.
actually thought it was
You
golf.
saved
Golf
me,
must have been a couple.
Sorry,
weeks.
I get my north
I understand.
Midwest.
NFC North guys
Yeah,
confused,
that are
no
kinda
problem.
okay, but I
Here's the
kinda root
thing,
for
I
it.
think the Niners are mad. I think the Niners defense also knows, gosh darn it, it's like the good old days with Jimmy G. If we don't win this for us, nobody's going to. So I think it's going to be tough sledding for
Okay, well,
Joe
if Jordan
Burrow.
Addison scored 2 touchdowns, how many do you think Jamar Chase is going to have?
We'll see.
We'll see. I like
Good
it.
game.
Brock Purdy talk next. on
What
First
was?
Things First.
That should be an exclamation point
Is?
to remove the. Yeah. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.